YouTube channel coming to you Monday Night Live. Today I decided to kind of go casual. I don't know, I just didn't feel like putting on the old shirt. So I figured I got my special cap on, and if anybody knows anything about this cap, then you might recognize some of it. But anyways, I can go ahead and, if anybody recognizes that, let me know. So, Mr. Tom George. How's it going, Tom? Just saw Tom. Who pays the state transfer tax in this area, the seller or the buyer? The state transfer tax, I am assuming, you know what they say about assuming, I'm thinking that is what we are calling, gotta get this thing straight. What's the deal? Oh, I see you got my name here. There we go. Thanks, Christian. And let me know if you can hear me or not, okay? So, the state transfer tax is, what the heck? Documentary stamps is what I think we're referring to, or doc stamps for short, I think is what you are probably referring to, and that would be the seller. Seller pays $7 for every $1,000 of sale. So if it's a $500,000 home, I just go 500 times 7, it's $3,500. And then there's your doc stamps. That's what the state of Florida charges. And state documentary stamps, or doc stamps, what we call them for short, that's what takes the place of a state income tax. So we don't have a state income tax here in Florida simply because we supplement the state budget with these doc stamps. So every time a home gets sold, $7 per thousand goes right to Tallahassee. So there you go. So the Ghost Rider. Besides the cost of the home, what other fees does the buyer pay at closing? That's a great question. So I'm going to answer that, but I'm going to use visuals. You know I'm all about visuals. First of all, don't let me pass Corky up. So Corky's up in Minnesota, still here and working to sell our house. Hopefully one day soon, so we can say greetings from on top of the world, because Corky has ordered a home there and on top of the world. But, so Corky, thank you for jumping on today. Let me get rid of this. And we're going to go to this. All right. So, what I can do for people is go over here to finance. See where it says buyer's closing costs, seller's estimated. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let me.
You want mini-me?
Yeah, I'm in a mini-me. Look for a mini-me. Where the heck's me?
Yep.
Okay. There we go. And I don't like that. See how that shows up, Christian?
Yes.
So I just like the me.
Yeah,
but that's only when we have the green.
Correct, yeah.
So we're going to knock that off. I forgot about that. Forget about that. Forget about it.
Just go back to,
One.
yeah, we can turn off.
Oh, there we go. Cool. There we go. All right. Anyways, where were we? Finance. Let me get my little cursor. Here we go. So I can go to seller's net. This will tell a seller what they'll walk away from. How much should a buyer expect to pay out in closing costs? So there you go. So if you'll remind me, whoops. Let me tone that down. Just answer it, Christian. That's all you gotta do, buddy. Oh, you don't have it on your phone. So here's what we do. We fill out your name, purchase price, the down payment that you put, closing costs. So really, you don't have a whole lot of closing costs as the buyer. Okay? So for instance, let's say it's a $500,000 home. And you put $10,000 down and annual property taxes. So that's what's going to happen is, let's say there's, I don't know, $3,500 in annual property taxes, and you're paying about $1,500 in insurance. Monthly condo, there's none of that. Percentage, okay. So, closing costs, that's kind of silly, isn't it? So your down payment, well, okay. Percentage of purchase price. Okay. We're gonna get rid of that. And let's say you put $100,000 and your earnest money is, we put $10,000 down in earnest money. So our loan amount is going to be $400,000. Interest rate, I don't know, 7% these days. And so what they're going to do is they're going to average out your property taxes. Let's see, it has to have a, it has to have a date in here, though. Monthly payment, mortgage amount. Really have to have a, for your property taxes, in your monthly, okay, so $291.67 a month. So your property taxes get prorated. But so what we'll do is, what I'll say is, closing costs to the title company are going to cost you about $350. I didn't put that. I can put that in there. Let's see, closing costs to the title company. An average of $350. So you have those closing costs to the title company. Your taxes are prorated. But what's going to happen is, anytime before November, a buyer is going to get the tax bill. So the seller is going to give you a bunch of money for the taxes that they've owned the home. Here it is, the end of July 29th. So let's say, I don't know, you close on August 1st. So for 7 months, you're going to get 7 months of whatever, of a percentage of whatever the taxes are. And they kind of use last year's taxes when they prorate your taxes out. Now, in the villages, they have the CDD. So there's the thing. Taxes are paid in arrears. And when you pay your taxes in arrears, the seller is going to catch you up and they're going to pay you for 7 months, and then you're going to get the tax bill in November, and you're going to pay the tax bill. So you're going to get money there. Then, like I said, in the villages, from October 1st to September 30th, that's the fiscal year for the CDD fees and for your bond. So what's going to happen is your bond and your maintenance fee are your CDD assessments, and so those are paid for in advance, not in arrears. So on October 1st, all that's applied to your tax bill. It's pretty confusing, but again, your fiscal year for proration reasons starts in October 1st, all right, and then ends on September 30th. So let's say we're closing on August, so we have August and September that the seller has already paid for. So we're going to give that seller back 2 months that they paid for in advance, and that's part of your closing costs. All right, so that's about it. I mean, other than a home inspection, I don't know if you want to consider that closing costs, but a home inspection is might be factored in there, and that's about $550. So I don't even know if that's in our thing here. Home inspection, I don't see home inspection in here, so they're not even. So this gives you, let me see, down payment, annual taxes. So home inspection, I would think that there would be an other, but there's not. So it kind of just gives you what your total estimated monthly principal and interest. Why isn't it this giving us our principal and interest? Because we told it what our taxes were, our insurance was, down payment, mortgage amount, interest rate, conventional. Oh, this is why. 30, well, term in months, so 30 years times 12. Let's see, for 30 years, $360 months. There's your estimated monthly payment, $3,000 a month for a $500,000 home with $100,000 down. So they call this buyer's closing costs. But anyways, it doesn't have the CDD stuff in here because very few places has a CDD. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at here for closing costs. So thanks for asking that question, Ghost Rider. Appreciate it. Pat, we good?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Pat and Jane in the house tonight. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. And Rich A. right there. You know what, you guys? I'm thinking, I don't know. You know what? I haven't seen Kevin. I think Kevin's mad at me. Kevin, he hasn't been on in weeks. What the heck happened to Kevin? Did you make Kevin mad?
I tried to eat as much of his food as I could.
I don't know. I don't know what happened to Kevin. He's usually Mr. Numero Uno, but Tom's got him beat tonight. So Kevin's missing, Jerry Bell's missing, Wrestler Mania's missing, Skip Smith is missing. I don't know what's happening. Anyways, we have a whole new crew, I guess. I moved into my office here and got this background. And everything's changed. So, Elizabeth, thank you for joining us this evening. Very kind of you. Elmer Fudd, Mr. JM himself, Missy Mo. Hi, Missy. Hi from Michigan. So hopefully the weather's doing well for you guys up there in the north, in Pennsylvania and Michigan. I convinced my wife to sit in with you this week. Yay! Do I have you on my calendar? Let's see. I don't want to just kind of out you out there, Jim. But let's see here. I'm going to have to ask good Lord Blakely's back from lobster fishing in the Keys. Man, I should put her picture up there with those lobsters. She'd probably freak if I did that.
Yeah, we want to keep her, not get rid of her.
Yeah. Anyways, Elmer Fudd, I don't see you on my calendar. So to sit in with you this week. Oh, is she there where you are right now? Is that what you're telling me? Because I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you're coming into town and. All right, Bill Rizzo from the village of La Belle. So, and Tama Jamma. I'm just trying to think. Weren't we supposed? Did we get together? Me and Tammy?
Ooh, that would be a Blakely question.
Boy. Frank is in the house. All right, Tom, what is a typical percentage to use for calculating the earnest money when making an offer? Well, to me, Tom, there's so many factors weighing in on that. I'm just trying to think of how I should put this. So typically $3,000, $3,000 to $5,000 is good when you're making an earnest money deposit or an EMD, like we like to call it, or just a deposit or whatever. So $3,000 to $5,000 is typical. When we're in a situation where there might be multiple offers, might be a situation where you're making a very low offer, we might want to up that to 10 or 20,000 just to show that we're very interested in this home. So that's why I say it's kind of a little difficult question to answer in that aspect. So these are just things that we just have to kind of take on an individual basis and kind of see what the circumstances are before we even go down that road. I'll give you an example. I mean, we just made an offer with Ron and Karen tonight. And so they asked me how much I thought they should put down. Well, this was on a home that got a huge price cut, right? And so we really wanted to what we call come in strong. And so we just have to kind of take into consideration all the factors. So I suggested $10,000. And just so this person knows we're serious. And also, I don't want to reveal all my secrets, but when we make an offer, I have a lot of different ways of trying to entice the seller to accept our offer. And so there's different ways, there's different things you can use and do. You really have to know your contract, which most real estate agents do not know their contract. So they don't know how to manipulate things to get a deal done, like experience does. So that's kind of, I'll just leave it at that. John Keller. Well, John Keller, thank you for jumping on tonight. There are 2 John Kellers. So I don't know how to even suggest how we separate the 2. Let's see. Tamma Jamma and Frank. Let's see. No, we didn't get together. We didn't have much time. We need to make another trip down there to look at homes. Well, number one, thankfully I'm not losing my mind, because I knew we were supposed to get together, but I didn't remember us getting together. And so now that kind of saddens me that we didn't get a chance to get together and make that, that face and text chat connection. But I did make a connection, and that's why the hat. So this is Skip Smith Wednesday Night Live hat, right? And he accused me of that being the very first time I ever wore this hat was when me, Skip, Sue, and Linda Lampy went out to lunch. And it was a great time. We spent a couple hours out having lunch, which was great. Wait a minute. Oh, hey, Ron and Karen. Were your ears burning? Did you hear me talking about you? Home inspection is a must on a pre-owned home. Absolutely. Yeah, there's no, to me, there's no compromising on that. I would never suggest you never do a home inspection. I mean, it's not really cheap. It's like $550 for a home inspection, but a lot of times they find little things that add up, and so it usually makes it worth it. So busy night tonight. What time is it? 6:30. So Ron and Karen, thank you for hopping on. Oh, hold up. Okay, never mind. Because we're waiting on a call. I'm just wondering if that was one of the calls. Let's see. So I was with Kevin a week and a half ago. So, Kevin, I guess, means more to you than I do, which really makes me sad. Was that for me?
Yeah, but they said that can wait after.
Who was it?
It was just a random number on your phone. But they wanted to talk to you. I told them you were in a meeting, so they'll call you out.
What was the first three area code? Because I'm waiting on a call.
Oh. 703?
No, I think that's somebody else. They called a couple times?
Yeah, I answered the first time. They hung up immediately and then called back.
Let me see that for a second. 1 minute, you guys. I apologize. I'm waiting on a phone call. So I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Real quick. Yeah, all right. That's okay. Thanks. All right, let's see now. Let's get caught up because I'm getting behind a little bit, I think. Let's see. Gary Winkle, Big Bend. Is that what you're calling Tallahassee now? Big Bend? Hi, Ira from the Big Bend. Well, I guess it's just below the Big Bend, or just Tallahassee's just above the Big Bend. Soon to be wet big. I was there yesterday, moving my daughter from FSU. It was very disheartening, I would have to say. Because we had a lot of fun going up to Tallahassee, going downtown, going to MADSO, they call it for short, Madison Social, and all the other little bars and restaurants that are down there right off the college campus. It was a lot of fun. So, and I never got to go to the circus. Does anybody know that FSU has a circus? They do. They have a big top and a circus, and my daughter was there for 4 years, and I just said, before you leave, we're going to go to that circus. And then it got blown away. The big top got blown away. That, and I couldn't believe it. FSU, let's see, circus tent. Yeah, man, there's the tickets. There's the tornado. Yeah, that just, shoot. FSU circus tent. And then it said tornado. A tornado tore down the circus. That's just craziness. Unbelievable. Look at that.
So plans to replace it?
Severe storm warning came before the circus got blasted. Wow, that made national news. See, there's what it looks like. Isn't that cool? That is cool. So, I'm going to have to go back but yeah, tornadoes came in and just destroyed it. Look at that. Anyways, pretty sad. Pretty sad. So I guess Gary's saying, soon to be wet, Big Bend. Well, The cool kids from LaBelle are here. Well, the cool kids, according to Ken Colin, if you've ever seen his advertising, the cool kids living on top of the world, according to Ken Colin. Where the cool kids, what does it say? Where the cool kids play or something. Let's see. Where the cool kids go. I guess. Is that on top of the world? No. 'Cause I don't see it. Where the cool kids go. I guess. Is that on top of the world? No. 'Cause I don't see it. Where the cool kids go. I guess. Is that on top of the world? No. 'Cause I don't see it. Where the cool kids go. I guess. Is that on top of the world? No. 'Cause I don't see it. Where the cool kids go. I guess. Is that on top of the world? No. 'Cause I don't see it. Where the cool kids go. I guess. Is that on top of the world? No. 'Cause I don't see it. Where the cool kids go. I guess. Is that on top of the world? No. 'Cause I don't see it. Where the cool kids go. I guess. Is that on top of the world? No. 'Cause I don't see it. Where the cool kids go. I guess. Is that on top of the world? No. 'Cause I don't see it. Where the cool kids go. I guess. Is that on top of the world? No. 'Cause I don't see it. Where the cool kids go. I guess. Is that on top of the world? No. 'Cause I don't see it. Where the cool kids go. I gu where the cool kids live, maybe. Here we go, Oto.
Where the cool kids retire?
Here we are, where the cool kids retire.
Gary.
On top of the world communities there. So, Mr. Bill. Everybody remember Mr. Bill in Saturday Night Live? You never heard of that, have you?
No.
Never heard of Mr. Bill?
Oh
no!
I know. I'm just a Bill from the Schoolhouse Rock.
No, we didn't get together. We didn't have much time. We need to make another trip back down there. We met up with Kevin and his wife, though it was a great time. Okay, then. Jax, you are my rock star. So, thank you for jumping on this evening. I appreciate it. And Jax, you know what? I've always assumed, and you know that's a dangerous thing again, I've always assumed that you're in Jacksonville. So, I don't know. I'm probably wrong. I'm the cool one that made you money, lowercase. Okay. All right. Oh, gosh. All right. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Let's see now. We will be back. I don't want to waste your time. Oh, boy, we talked about that last week. And so it might be a good time to bring it up again this week. You all never, ever, ever, and I'm going to say ever, waste my time. It's never a waste of time when you come in and talk with me. Number one, I enjoy meeting the people who are on the other side of this camera. Love it. You know, this way I get to put a face and, you know, with what we're talking about over here. That's the main thing. Number two, I get to learn what it is you're interested in. We can talk about different options, different things. I mean, never a waste of time. So please, nobody ever think that. So, okay, do I lose the Earnest money if my bid is not accepted? No. No, you don't. You know, I'll tell you, our FAR bar contract, they call it. FAR means Florida Association of Realtors. That's what FAR stands for. And BAR is for the Florida Bar. You know, so attorneys and realtors got together, came up with this contract, and there's so many things in there to protect your deposit, which I use all the time and I explain all the time. I was telling Ron and Karen this evening about, you know, that you can't lose your, well, I'm not going to say you can't lose your deposit, because if you get right up to closing and decide to walk away, well, I mean, unfortunately, that's on you. But you do not lose your Earnest money if your offer is not accepted. Absolutely not. And so here's the thing. Who am I talking to? Jerry B. Here's the thing, I never collect a deposit until after our offer is accepted. I get people who'll come in here and we write up an offer, and then they get their checkbook out and they say, okay, who am I going to make this out to? I'm like, whoa. I'm not taking any deposits until we get an accepted offer. Then we'll go ahead and take the deposit, because you know it is, if you give me a deposit, I have to put it in the bank immediately the next day. Not the bank, to the title company, and they put it in their escrow account. And then if the deal doesn't go through, then we got to tell the title company, give us that money back. It's just way too much of a pain, and it just makes so much more sense. And in my contracts here, let me see, do I have, am I using this? Yeah. Okay. Continue. We're still working. Yeah, well, we can go back. Transactions. Blank forms. Oh, okay. What I do in my contracts, I'll show you real quick. Well, I'll just show you real quick as is one, because it's the same thing on the first page. See right up here, initial deposit to be held in escrow and the amount of. Then you put the amount that your deposit's going to be, and then the initial deposit will be made and delivered to the escrow agent below. This is the title company. And then it either accompanies the offer, that never gets checked with me, or is to be made within, if left blank, then 3 days after the effective date. And the effective date, guys, is when both parties have signed the contract. Then it is an effective contract. So at first it's an offer, and until all parties sign, then it's a contract. And then I put in there, 1, 2, or 3 days, just depending on if you're here. Then I will say 1 day, or maybe even 2 days, but usually 1 day. If you're out of town, then I usually give you 3 days to go ahead and get your money wired in. So we'll write that up in there. So that's kind of, but no, I don't ever suggest you do that, is, give a deposit with your offer. So now, what you do need to do, you need to provide either a proof of funds. That means if you have cash and you're paying cash, you need to show that you have the cash to buy this home. So a selling agent's going to ask for proof of funds, or if you're getting a mortgage, they're going to ask for a pre-approval letter from a mortgage company that says you've already talked to the bank, you've already told them, how much you want to spend and what your your debts are and your income is, and then they'll tell you, okay, you can buy a home about this much money. So and then they'll put that in a pre-approval letter. So that's what you need, not to write the deposit yet. Proof of funds if you're paying cash, pre-approval letter if you're getting a mortgage, if you're going to make an offer on a home. So please have that stuff ready in advance. And then with the proof of funds, we want to mark out your account number and just show that your name is associated with the funds. Okay, so that's what you want to hand in with your offer. Okay, so Jerry, hopefully that answered your question there. We will be back. Okay. Don't worry, Ira. He invited us over for lunch. It was nice meeting with. I don't know where Kevin is. I'm gonna have to give this guy a call because he wasn't on here last week either. And somebody told me he was on a cruise, but I don't think he's on a 2-week cruise.
Did he go on that the band one?
Yeah, but I don't think that's till maybe. Maybe he's getting back today. I don't know. I don't even know where they shipped out of. Anyways, I'm gonna have to find out. May 10th, 2024, another infamous date. Oh, Gary, so that's, man, you got that down. That must be for the circus tent. And I was caught out in the open when they came through. And that was multiple tornadoes, right? More than just one. Oh, man. My daughter was home during that time, thankfully. And she's looking at her phone. She goes, "Oh no, the circus tent got blown away." So that tells you never procrastinate. Never think something is always going to be there, and then you just mess around, and then one day it's gone. Anyways, I'm going to that circus. So, Jamie Miller, I don't think Jamie's on here tonight. She was at work all day. So, she's done. She's got her she graduates on Friday. This Friday. With her master's in interior architectural design.
Is she gonna have you live stream it?
Am I gonna live stream? And so pretty proud of her with her master's degree. So we moved her home yesterday, got a U-Haul, hooked it up to the back of the car, drove all the way 3 hours to Tallahassee, loaded her up. It was a very sad occasion, I have to say. Where's my phone?
I have it.
Let me see. So, yep, very, very sad occasion yesterday. So there we go. Moving out. There's the car and the trailer. And there's the whole complex. So, yeah, she was there 2 years. And then, I'm just glad I don't have to pay for that thing anymore, honestly. We're just showing that it's clean and pristine. My wife and Jamie went up there on Saturday, cleaned it all up, packed it all up. There's we missed it. Maybe I'll scan over there again. I don't know. Nah. Anyways, they went up there went Saturday, cleaned it all up, and then I came in and loaded everything up in the trailer, and away we went. End of an era is how she put it on, I don't even know if it's still on Snapchat. Any of y'all on Snapchat? I know Jamie's on Snapchat. Oh, I should have saved it. I didn't save it. Anyways. So, Gary, we were there and out of there. And I'll be back Friday. And then the next time I'm coming back is either for the circus or a football game. Speaking of, we were supposed to go to Ireland, actually coming up in August, to FSU's playing in Ireland. Let's see. Oh no, Mr. Bill. Where are the cool kids retire? Yeah. Oh, man. Jeff, thanks for joining us tonight. Jeff from River Haven. So, thanks for jumping on. Here we go. This is one of my newest listings. Gives me a time to, now everybody around here, all the subcontractors, all the contractors for the villages, everybody around here moves to, here we go, moves to homosexual, they don't move, they actually get a second home in Homosassa. So this is a canal front home, $419,900. I think it's the least expensive canal front home on the market. Awesome lanai that looks out over the canal. We did some drone shots. Huge garage. Actually, this is how you go into the house. This is the front entrance of the house on the side. Christian, you did a great job on these pictures, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, so there we go. This is the house here on a canal with the dock. Got the drone. This is the house right here. Look at the size of that yard back there. You could literally put a pool in there if you wanted to. Yep. Oh, where's my bird? Did you take the bird out?
No, there should be one of the bird in there.
Yeah, there he is. A great heron. Great heron right there. I mean, that was perfect timing for him. And then that's just a look down. You can see all the boats and everything. That goes right out to the Gulf. Let's see, do I have a picture? There it is. So this is, the house is back behind us, and you kind of come out to this big, huge lake or canal over. And then that's actually a river. It's not a canal. I'm just trying to get my bearings because I think the rec center is down here. So here's the house over here. And then you just drive the boat around and out, and then the Gulf is right out there. That's the Gulf of Mexico. Some of the best fishing around. Has a nice little recreation center, pool, pickleball courts. Everybody's loving pickleball these days. So there you go. $419,900. 5 days on the market, never been flooded. So, great deal. If anybody is just looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath home on the river, I really don't expect this to last very long because, like I said, so many people from here in the villages have a weekend home out there in Homosassa. They have their boats there, and then they go right on out the river, and away they go to fishing. All right, so moving along. Jax. So Jeff, I want to thank you again for jumping on, and hopefully you enjoyed the pictures for the house. Let me see here.
Wrestler's last comment.
I haven't got the wrestler yet. I was wondering where wrestler was. New Jersey. Jax is up in New Jersey. So I'm gonna have to write that down. Oops, on this one. It's the only way I remember things. Man, tonight, I don't know what's going on tonight. So Missy, I gotta tell you, somebody showed the home over the weekend, showed Cimarron. They said they were going to write a contract. Now, take into consideration, Cimarron has a pool on the golf course, on a preserve, huge lot, 2,600 square feet living area, everything's brand new in this home for $829. And the people that were looking at Cimarron went and bought this 2,000 square foot home. Didn't have the upgrades, certainly didn't have the lot. They actually had to build their pool up underneath the lanai. If you can believe that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm blown away by the fact that they didn't buy Cimarron and they bought this other home. Anyways, you got me started, Missy. So no, I have not sold Cimarron. We did do the driveway finally and the walkway. I mean, the place is beautiful. I'm really devastated that that person went and made an offer on another home. All right, Lauren and Tom. Oh no, we love Mr. Bill. All right, we're doing Mr. Bill. For those of you who don't know Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill, Saturday Night Live. There he is. And we're going to do a little skit. You want to see Mr. Bill?
Well, I was making sure they can.
That they can hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Here.
I'm using the mouse, 1 second. All right, now they should be able to hear it on their end.
How about on my end?
Well, I have it going through the computer, not the speakers.
Oh no. They cut Mr. Bill in half.
Is that Gingy from Shrek?
What's he doing to poor Mr. Bill?
But yeah, it sounds like Gingy.
Gingy.
From Shrek, the gingerbread man?
Oh. So there's a little recap of Mr. Bill, one of the episodes of Mr. Bill. For a second, I thought you said foobar.
Farbar.
Foobar? I don't even know what foobar is. I know what a farbar is, not a foobar. All right, Jax. All right, so WrestlerMania, can you start for real now, Ira? Wrestlers in the house. Well, hey, that's what I was telling everybody. I was saying, there's no Kevin, there's no Jerry Bell, there's no WrestlerMania. I mean, what the heck's going on? Okay, I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that foobar was a thing. All right, so yes, we can get the party started now. Because while the WrestlerMania is in the house, because he's in and out pretty quick. Wrestler, you like my hat?
When is Jamie getting ours made?
That's why I'm wearing this one. Until I get my merch, I gotta wear somebody else's merch. All right. Thank God your daughter was home. Yes, Jax, you are correct. Yeah, we are. We were saying our prayers. I was working, editing videos. I don't have a team to do it for me like some people. Okay. I'm with you. We're going to have to put some of your videos on our show one night, wrestler. So make a note of that. I think I'm kidding. By the way, we have a new channel coming up. I'm not going to reveal anything right now, but I will in the future, so just be prepared. Wrestler, just do lives, no editing needed. There you go. That's all you got to do. You just do these live streams and you're good to go. He wishes. Yep, he is bragging again. So, oh, hold up. I think I went a little too far. Ghost Rider, I'm not a professional like Ira. There's the professional. I'm the in front of the cameraman, but all the magic is over there.
And then Blakely's our mouth.
She's our mouth?
Yeah, she's the one who talks to everyone.
Yeah, but she has nothing to do with the videos.
Oh no, she just allows us to do it. Gets rid of all the hard stuff for us.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Yo, Wrestler Mania. Wrestler to the rescue. Well, that was unprofessional. Show his audience the bird. Well, that was unprofessional.
Pictures. You showed them pictures of a bird. He's saying, yeah, there you go.
I'm glad you're here. I don't know. I'm just really slow tonight. I don't know what the problem is. It's like, man, I think it was just all the moving. A big bird at that. Yep, he was. That's how rock stars are. The bird is in the word. The bird is the word. The bird. The bird is the word. You ever hear that, Christian? No.
From Family Guy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That song was in there?
Mm-hmm. It's a whole big joke in Family. Like it's an entire scene.
Really?
Yeah.
So there you go. That's how they bring the new people up to our speed. They just put them on the new programs today. Cool. All right. Again, what am I? Chopped liver? Yeah. Well, Christian just showed me what foobar. I guess that really shows you I wasn't in the military, because that went right over my head.
I just heard it in old TV shows before.
Oh yeah, hey, I am so you saw me writing that little note. Yes, we're in our right mind, Bill. That's what they say. Lefties are in their right minds. Uh-oh.
Wait, is southpaw, does that mean left-handed?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I'm a southpaw then.
Yeah. All right, Christian, you gotta look up snafu. SNAFU. So.
The snafu is you are having a snafu about the word snafu. It's like a confusion.
Oh, so it's not an acronym.
No, it's something that's confusing, or it doesn't go as like rescheduled flights for a snafu.
I don't know. Gary's got it all in capital letters. So I don't know. Maybe. All right.
So the term originated as a military acronym during World War II. It stood for situation normal, all fouled up. And then it just...
Well, I'm sure fouled is not really.
I'm just going off of what... but people used it so much, it's now a word.
So a situation...
Normal, all fouled up. So normal situation that goes to a bad one real quick.
Okie dokie. All right, well, we got it. And then situation normal, all effed up. So you said foul, but...
That's what the dictionary says.
That's kind of an oxymoron, isn't it? Situation normal, but then all effed up.
Yeah, the beginning of the situation, like, it starts normal. It doesn't start bad. It starts normal, and then it just gets to the second half.
Gotcha. All right, you guys, so listen. We had a theme for this evening, so I'm going to go ahead and get into that, if you don't mind. First of all, it is time for market update. So let's do the market update. Oops. No. Okay, let's see. Search. So we're going to do a market update in the villages. 456. 456. That's how many listings we have that are active in the villages. Now, what went pending in the last 7 days? A week since we were together? 41 homes. I think I need to keep track of this stuff, right? So today is 7/29/24, and pending 0 to 7 is 41 homes went pending in the last week. How many sold in the last week? And 30 closed. 0 to 7. 30 homes. We're going to kind of keep track of this and see. This is the indicator. You know, this is what really tells you what the market is actually doing, whether it's going up, down, sideways, staying the same, whatever. By looking at these numbers and keeping track of these numbers, and especially the active. So active seems to be staying about the same, about 450 to 465, something like that seems to be the normal. All right, and that's for the villages. And let's see, wonder if we can we do 0 to 7? Whoops. 0 to 7. Does that tell us anything? 36 matches. I guess 36 homes. I'm going to say new, active. 36 homes went on the market, because that's important too. All right? Because if nobody's putting their homes on the market, then that, that's going to affect the sales and all that good stuff. So, all right. I want to talk about transaction brokers, all right? So, what is a transaction broker, and what is a situation where transaction brokers are involved? Well, first of all, let's see what a transaction broker is. Let's see. Oh man, don't tell me. Okay. transaction. What is a transaction broker in real estate? Okay. A transaction broker is a neutral party that helps facilitate a real estate transaction between a buyer and a seller. Technically, transaction brokers don't represent either party and must treat both the buyer and the seller equally. Okay? And what is a transaction broker? Provides a limited form of representation to a buyer, a seller, or both in a transaction, but does not act in a fiduciary capacity. So that kind of goes against what I've been saying to everybody about the village's agents are all sellers agents. So that I need to correct that a little bit. So they start out, since they can only sell their own listings, that's when a transaction broker takes place. It's like if one of my agents got a contract on one of my listings, then we both have to transition into a transaction broker, because the state of Florida does not allow dual agency, which is what it used to be called. Dual agency is when both parties can represent the seller and the buyer in a single agent capacity, working in the best sense for either one. Now, there's a second way that a transaction broker becomes involved, and that's if I sold my own listing, okay? I can't represent the seller and the buyer in both an exclusive agency, in an exclusive capacity, as just, I can't put on one hat and say, okay, I'm the buyer's agent, put on another hat, say I'm the seller's agent. It doesn't work. That's called dual agency, when you're trying to act in the capacity of a fiduciary responsibility for both the seller and the buyer. So what does that mean? That means really that the villages, when they sell a home, they don't represent either party, right? And they're pretty much, all they are order takers at that point, right? So if we go back to what this was saying, let's see, it does not represent either in a fiduciary capacity, right? Fiduciary is in somebody's exclusive capacity. So that is important, because fiduciary definition of or relating to a duty acting in good faith with regard to the interest of another. So they're actually acting in good faith, or of being a trustee or trusteeship. So that's kind of like they're just there to act in the capacity of handling the money. Let's get rid of some of this stuff here. Okay. So what they're going to do is they're just going to kind of be order takers, and you're going to tell them, what you want. They're going to go over and tell the other agent, so they're kind of an intermediary is basically what they are. So a transaction broker is an intermediary, and they're just there to facilitate the transaction. So whether you feel like they're working in your best interest or not, they're saying that they're not working in I'm back. Dude, you're operating off a battery? All right. So, as I was saying, a transaction broker doesn't work for the seller or the buyer. So I would think, that's kind of troubling in my opinion, because you have to, especially over at the villages, sellers need to know that they're not acting in their best interest, right? They're not acting in a fiduciary seller's agency. They're just acting as an order taker. So that's kind of, and that's all they do. They can never act in the capacity of a single agent, because all their agents sell all their listings. It's like me, when someone comes to me and wants me to act as their single agent and acting in the best interest of the buyer. We're going to go around and look at all these homes, and I'm acting as your single agent and only in your best interest. And so again, it's only when it comes down to one of my listings, if we ever get into that situation. But 100% of the time, it's that way over at the villages, where they don't represent either party. Where I was saying before that they were all sellers agents. I mean, that's what I've heard, but now that one of their agents corrected me and said, no, we're all transaction brokers. Well, that's not any better, really, because a transaction broker, like I just showed you, is just there as an intermediary to, facilitate. You tell me what you want to offer them, and I'll tell them, and then they can tell me what their counter offer is. And so anyways, that's kind of how that works over there. And so I just thought, I'd clear things up so everybody knows over there at the villages, they all work as transaction brokers. Like I said, you can look it up. I mean, it's right there. And a fiduciary does not represent either in a fiduciary. So I was spreading some misinformation that I wanted to clear up tonight anyways, and just let you know that they're not all just sellers agents, they're all transaction brokers. And so they'll tell you, that's what they'll tell you. And since they don't belong to the Board of Realtors, since they don't belong to the MLS or but they do have to abide. They are licensed real estate agents and have to operate under licensure law. And that's what the law says. So, going back to here, let me see here, new tab. So what I did was I pulled up blank forms and transactions, so y'all can see when I search for transaction in all my forms. This is my form simplicity. Come on, there we go. So these are the ones. So what happens is exclusive right of sale listing agreement and exclusive right of broker agreement. This just talks to you about, and this is the official form, tells you what the broker's obligations are, and then it goes into saying that a broker can transition. Where is it? Brokerage relationship. Broker will act as a transaction broker. Broker will deal honestly and fairly, will account for all funds, use skill, care, and diligence. In the transaction, will disclose all known facts that materially affect the value of the residential property which are not readily observable. Will present all offers and counteroffers in a timely manner, otherwise in writing, and have limited confidentiality with the buyer unless waived in writing. So this is for a listing. And then I'll tell you, oh man. Okay. Right up here, this is what we're going to see a lot of, and I went over this last week. Exclusive buyer-broker agreement. These are the parties. The consumer, you the buyer, grants me, the broker, the exclusive right to work with, assist consumer in locating, negotiating the acquisition of suitable real property as described below, blah, 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 the term, what kind of property, type of property, single family home in the villages, something like that. Broker's assistance. This just says that that we are giving you, we'll use professional knowledge and skill, discuss property requirements, assist consumer in writing and locating and viewing suitable properties, assist consumer in negotiating and closing any resulting transaction, cooperate with real estate licensees working with the seller, if any, to complete a transaction. Consumer understands that broker may work with other prospective consumers who want to acquire the same property as consumer. If broker submits offers by competing consumers, broker will notify consumer that a competing offer has been made, but will not disclose any of the offer's material terms and conditions. So all that stuff gets pretty sticky right when you're dealing with all this buyer-broker agreement stuff. And so this is kind of, almost getting close to what's called, again, dual agency. So if broker submits offers by competing consumers, two different consumers, broker will notify consumer that a competing offer has been made, but will not disclose any of the offer's material terms or conditions. Consumer agrees that broker may make competing consumers aware of the existence of any offer consumer makes, so long as broker does not reveal any material conditions without the consumer's prior written consent. So, I do know that consumer understands that even if a broker is compensated by an owner or a real estate licensee is working with an owner, such compensation does not compromise broker's duty to the consumer. So I do know that when, as a seller's agent, if I have competing offers, the seller has to give me permission to tell, hey, we have a competing offer and what the other competing offer is. So I know they need that information. All right, so getting off in the weeds a little bit, I think. But I did say that I was gonna go ahead and talk about what transaction brokers are, what capacity they operate in, and how a and this is in a contract. Oh boy. So I just want to show you one more thing. And that's right here. When you consent. So exclusive right of sale listing agreement, this just says that if we get the buyer, then we have to I'm a single agent working for the seller in the beginning, right? Dealing honestly and fairly, loyalty, confidentiality, obedience, full disclosure, accounting for all funds, skill, care, and diligence, presenting all offers and counteroffers in a timely manner, and disclose all known facts that materially affect the value of the real property and are not readily observable. 9 duties. Then, if I happen to have the buyer, this has to be initialed, and as a transaction broker, I Am Realty and its associates provide you a limited form of representation, and now you're down to 7 duties, right? So, limited representation means that a buyer or seller is not responsible for the acts of the licensee. Additionally, parties are given up their rights to the undivided loyalty of the licensee. And that's kind of what happens with the villages, right? Parties are given up their rights to the undivided loyalty of the licensee. This aspect of limited representation allows a licensee to facilitate a real estate transaction, like I said, acting as a mediator by assisting both the buyer and seller, but a licensee will not work to represent one party to the detriment of the other party when acting as a transaction broker to both parties. So there you go. They leave their duties. And so that's why I say, since everybody in the villages, all the listings in the villages are 100% of the time going to be a transaction broker situation, they can't act in the capacity, nor would you want to. You know, if you know that you're the seller and you're gonna, you know that your agent is going to transition to a transaction broker, you're going to want to really be careful of what you reveal to that agent. Okay, so anyways, that's that. Let's go back to our chat. Dude, you're on a battery. Poof. That's what Ghost Rider said to you. I thought it was an unanticipated transient. Put another quarter in the slot to keep the camera running. Yeah, tell me about it. Fiduciary, I know that word from Mary Poppins. I know I am not the only one who thought of that. Rizzo. So, Fidelity Fiduciary Bank. Is that the real name of the Fidelity? Let's see. Your prize would be an Ira. No, I can't give away my Wednesday Night Live cap. I can't do it. Because Skip will never give me another one. Okay, Racer Girl, thank you very much because I left that out. So she's asking, can you help a client buy a house on the VLS if it is not new? So I have implemented a situation where I will act as your single agent, and if it's with a Villages home, I'll never be a transaction broker because I'll never have that relationship with the Villages. But yes, I have offered myself. Okay, so let me back up just a little bit. On August, I've seen two different things. August 8th, somewhere between August 8th and August 17th. Buyer's agents are going to have to, and I explained all this last week, but I want to explain it one more time this week. Buyer's agents like myself will have to negotiate. Actually, we'll have to have a buyer's broker agreement signed, right? And I think blank forms. Now let's get out of here. Buyers. Come on. Racer girl, hang in there with me. I can never answer anything just straight up. Compensation agreement, seller to buyers, seller's broker to buyer's broker. See, they keep changing these things. That's crazy. Anyways, a seller to the seller's broker to buy. Oh, man. This is just to a, this is what they're going to send me. Where is that buyer broker agreement? What the heck? I can't believe it. Buyer's broker agreement. Exclusive buyer brokerage agreement. This is single agent. This is what I'm looking for, I think. Let me look down here real quick. Yes. So this is what all buyer's agents are going to have signed now, because they're taking when we look right now today, when we're looking at I don't know, I'm just gonna go with any listing. We did this last week, and I came across one where there was zeros. All right, so down here today, I can see where they're offering a buyer's agent 2.5%, 2.5%, or 2.5%. Now, Racer Girl, just for the sake of, just kind of making this short and sweet for you, I have come up with a situation where if it's in the Villages, since technically I cannot write a contract on a home in the Villages, I can represent you in buying a home in the Villages. We can see the home together. I can look through the home. I can make suggestions of who you want to use as a home inspector. I can be there for the walkthrough. I could be there for the closing. I could look over the contract that the villages will have to write up, and all of that is for 0.5% of the selling price. What does that work out to? Well, a $400,000 home is, what is that? $2,000? $2,000 is what it would cost to have me represent you on a $400,000 home if you wanted to use me as your seller's agent in a single agency capacity, not a transaction broker capacity like I just explained about a little bit ago. So right now, when I look at all of this, all this is going to go away, right? All of this that you see here is going to be gone. And so what does that mean? That means I don't know if the owners of 615 Rainbow Boulevard are going to offer me a compensation. And so that's where I have to go back to that other seller to broker. Let's see. That's where I'm going to have to go to Christian, we're flashing. Okay, and that's where we're going to have to go to this. A compensation agreement is going to have to be made out now to get the seller to pay for my commission, which has always been normal. But since I cannot see in there where that buyer's agent or that commission agreement is, since I can't see that, I'm going to have to, produce my own in that form, in this form right here, of seller's broker to buyer's broker, and then this will say the different parties. My name would be down here if I was the buyer's broker, whoever the seller's broker is, and then we'd have to come to terms of how much seller broker agrees to compensate the buyer's broker. And so that's going to have to be produced each and every time we make an offer on a home. But one other thing is I'm going to have 2 forms signed. So I'm going to have one. I'm going to have this one exclusive broker. This just says that I'm going to work in the capacity as your single agent, and then we're going to have to come across and says, broker's compensation is earned when the term of this agreement or any renewal or extension X. So what this is compensation agreed by the broker, if any, from an owner or owner's broker rendered to consumer. And then if it says it says in here where in the case that where is it? Where is it? Let's see. A retainer consumer agrees to cooperate with broker. Is this what I'm looking for? Broker assistant, broker will use brokers. These are all brand new. These are all brand new as of 7/24. So of this month, 7/24, you see it was revised down here. This is what I'm going to, as a broker's agent, this just says that the buyer agrees to pay for the broker's commission. Broker's compensation is earned when, during the term of this agreement or any renewal or extension, consumer or any other person acting on for the behalf of the consumer contracts to acquire property specified in this agreement. Compensation received by broker, if any, from an owner or owner services will reduce the amount owed by the consumer per this paragraph. So what this does is this tells and says I'm going to earn X amount of dollars at a minimum, and if the seller or seller's broker agrees that they're going to pay, let's say if my commission's 2.5%, if they agree they'll pay 2%, then I'll still be owed 0.5% with anybody who I'm working with. If the sellers, and we're going to write that in the contract. We're going to write on that addendum I just showed you, seller's broker will pay buyer's broker 2.5%. If they come back and say, okay, we're good to go. If they come back and say, we're only going to pay 2%, well then, as a buyer, you know up front, and it's not just me, it's going to be everybody, every single agent now has to produce these two documents, the buyer-broker agreement and then the exclusive agreement, before we go look at any homes or any transactions or anything like that. Everything, and so that's why I'm kind of going over it now with all of you all, so you all know up front, it's not going to just be me. And if you're up north somewhere and you're going to want to sell your home, then your listing agent is going to ask you, hey, are you going to agree to pay compensation, a commission, to any buyer's broker? They're going to need to know that up front as to what they're dealing with. So this is what has come down with that lawsuit. And we kind of explained it again last week and now this week. If you all have any questions or want more details about all this, or if you want me to send you these documents, I'd be happy to email these documents to you up front so you could read both of them. You can read both of them in detail. I'd rather do that, to be honest with you. If you're coming here to buy a home with me, I'd rather send you these documents up front so you can look them over yourself, and then you have any questions, you can either call me, text me, email me, or when you come in here and sit right on the other side of this desk and talk with me, we can go over it all. Okay, so that's why this is the second week, and I'm probably going to keep going over it and over it and over it and over it, because it's so radical. It's such a radical change as to what's going on in the real estate industry that I want everybody to have a good idea of what to expect and what's going on. Okay? There you go. So, Racer Girl, that's it in a nutshell. So let's see. But back to your original question, yes, but that buyer-broker agreement that I had on my, my screen's right here in front of me, but that I had on the, where all y'all can see. Right now, I know that the villages aren't going to pay me anything. I know that up front, right? I don't know whether that's true in the MLS. But for right now, and it's always subject to change, I may go up, I probably will go up, to what my standard fee is 2.5%. You'll get some agents out there that go 2%. I don't know. They might even go 1.5%. I don't know. But those are going to be all the agents out there that are desperate, hungry, and know nothing, right? They need to get business, and they don't have business because they're not professional. They're not knowledgeable. But if you get what you pay for, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to get what you pay for when you're dealing with different agents. And so you go for those cheaper discounted agents, they're discounting their price for a reason. So just take that for what it's worth. And let me see, hold up, you guys. Let me go back up here because I think I got a little head of. Ooh. What happened? Oh, hit the wrong bar. Let's see. Fiduciary. Okay. Can't have my Wednesday Night Live cap. Yes, I can help you buy a house in the VLS. And that goes whether it's new or not, right? I doubt it. VLS agents don't tend to work well with others. So as a former VLS agent working for Properties of the Villages, I know a lot more than what anybody else knows. And I can get around all those little games that they like to play over there. So yes, it's on a case-by-case basis. It's an individual thing. And Racer Girl, we can sit and talk about it face-to-face. But that's kind of my blanket answer is 0.5%, even though I showed you typical is 2.5%. So I just don't want to beat a dead horse here. Okay, so Ira. That was the name of the song in Mary Poppins. Okay, well, I think I stirred the pot enough. See, everyone have a great rest of the day. Everyone, please remember to give the thumbs up button. And, Christian, you got to remind me multiple times. Or I need you to write in here to please subscribe. Okay. On multiple times during the live stream. Yes, Wrestler, thank you for reminding me. This is stuff that I should know. Please subscribe to my channel, Homes Around the Villages YouTube channel. We're at 14,901. We need 99 more people to subscribe to hit 15,000. And I don't know what's going on. I guess you got to ask for the business, right? That's what they say in sales class. Multiple times you have to ask for the business. Please hit that subscribe button and the notification little bell icon. So because of all the videos I make and Christian's putting out during the week, you'll get notified each and every time. And there are usually some goodies.
And of the stream itself.
And of this, you'll be notified of this live stream. So thank you, Wrestler, for that reminder. I appreciate it. Bye. Thank you for joining us tonight. I think he's probably already gone. That was at 7:30. See you on the other side, John says. Karen is getting impatient. Well, I got you, Ron. Hold on then. All right, I know that Angie told me who's the listing agent, that she's going out to eat with some friends tonight. She did tell me that. So I think that's kind of what we're dealing with, but I think right around now she should be pretty much done. So Racer Girl, please keep coming on with those awesome questions. My listing agent and I have been hashing through this stuff this past week. Once it is removed from the MLS, the buyer's agent fee, we will work out a number that I am willing to pay a buyer's agent. Okay. I thought that was what was supposed to be done by a broker with a buyer even long before that court settlement. No, wrong. I mean, Robert, the compensation, the commission compensation had always been assumed it was going to be paid by the selling agent. Not the selling agent, the seller. Up until now, right? There was always the buyer-broker agreement that if you asked the buyer to sign a buyer-broker agreement way back when, as recent as a year ago, then they were only saying that they were going to work exclusively with you, and if they went and bought a home from somebody else, that they would owe you a commission. I think I used that maybe twice in my 24-year career, and decided, hey, if people don't want to work with me, why am I going to have them sign something that forces them to work with me? No, that doesn't work. And if I remember correctly, I think they could always withdraw that anyways. So, but it was never about a commission agreement. And like I just showed you all, that says that the buyer's agent will get a minimum of X amount of percentage of the commission, dollars in the commission. And if you don't get the whole, let's say 2.5%, then that'll be on the buyer to have to pay that. So now buyers can say, hey, seller, you don't want to pay my agent 2.5%, and you want me to pay the rest of it? Well, we're going to work something out then in the bottom line of the price of the home, right? Or we're going to walk. So I see that happening quite a bit. If you're looking at a $400,000 home at 2.5%, that's $10,000. And a seller's agent or a seller says, well, I'm only going to pay you 2%. That means that other $2,000, the buyer has already agreed up front that they were going to make up for. Well, what's going to happen? They're going to say, you know what, Mr. Seller, that $420 I was going to give you is now $418, because I got to give that other $2,000 to my buyer's agent. So I'm not going up any higher than $418. A lot of that's going to go on, okay? So you just watch. And then my agent will convey that to the buyer's agent as needed. Well, Corky, I think I just kind of touched on a little bit of what you might end up seeing happening to you if you're not going to be out there offering. Because, again, a buyer's agent's going to have a minimum. Or I don't know if it's a minimum, but it's going to be a set amount. And if the seller doesn't pay that set amount, that means the buyer has to pay that set amount. And then if you're the seller and you're like, I'm not going to pay that, whatever, that might leave a bad taste in the buyer's mouth, and then it's just going to be a mess. I would suggest you just step up to the plate, pay the whole whatever the standard going rate is up there, because you're going to have other houses on the market that are going to pay that. And so they might go somewhere else and make an offer on another home with somebody who is going to pay the whole buyer's commission. So you have to be careful. So Jax, thanks for hanging in there with me. Thanks, Ira. That was great information. Okay, Jane, thanks so much for your compliment there. Rick Joyo. Hey, Rick. How's it going? Ira, well, it's not Ira. Is the homeowner's insurance problem really as bad as we hear about it in the Northeast particular? Yeah, I mean, I guess the homeowner's insurance is a problem everywhere. And just, that's part of the problem in real estate. It's just a mess. And so, you know, like I let other people know, you know, about 6 months ago that my homeowner's insurance went up from $3,500 to $5,500 and then $9,700 until I finally caught on to what was going on. I had no clue that's what insurance companies were doing. And so I gave them the boot and got me a new insurance company. So I would just say call around and get the best deal, because they're out there. There's some deals out there. So it is bad. I mean, the whole thing is you got all the fires going on that insurance companies are having to pay for, floods early on, you know, in the winter thaw that happen and that they have to pay for, tornadoes that they have to pay for. I'm not going to use the H word, hurricanes around here. So, yeah, I mean, somebody's got to put a little lid on that, you know, particularly in the Ocala area. So, I mean, a $500,000 home, you're probably looking at about $1,500 to about $2,000 is about what you should be paying in the Ocala area. All right. My man Jason is in the house. See you middle of August. Dinner's on me next time. So where's Cody? Usually I see Cody right around now too, but looking forward to seeing you, Jason, for sure. I'll have to admit I haven't been practicing my guitar, which I know you don't want to hear. I am keeping it at 2.5%, but it just won't be on the MLS. That is what I meant by my agent will convey that thought. Yeah, well, you know, that's the thing. The rule is you can't hint, you can't put in anywhere in a listing what the seller's willing to pay. Nowhere in the MLS listing. Not in the marketing, not in the realtor remarks, not in that line's going to be gone. It's crazy. So we'll see how it all shakes out after a while, but that's what we're looking at. Okay, so good job on that. You know, look, you're just going to get, like I said, your buyers are going to come along. They're going to offer your agent, here's my buyer's broker agreement, our seller broker to buyer broker. This is what my buyer wants, is all it is. And then your selling agent's going to go to you and say, hey, here's your offer and here's what the buyer's broker is wanting, and you're going to say yay or nay. I doubt they're going to get crazy and say they want 3% or 3.5% or 4% or whatever. You're probably just going to see whatever the going rate's always been. All right, if it's not in writing, it can't be upheld. So I've been putting it right in the contract itself. So I'm going to put it on the contract in that addendum, so it's clear. Yeah, no, Jane, it'll never be. Once the commission is gone from the MLS, that's it. It's always going to be in that addendum, in that form that I just showed y'all. It's always going to be, you're going to, like I said, you're going to get two. You're going to get this one, the exclusive buyer broker agreement, and then you're going to get buyer. I don't know why I got to keep going back to this thing, but you're going to get this compensation agreement. So you're going to get the buyer broker agreement. Where is that at? And you're going to get the compensation agreement. Exclusive buyer broker agreement. You're going to get that, like I just showed you. Then you're going to get this seller to buyer's broker. This is what the seller is going to agree upon as far as buyer's broker, Ira Miller, and the seller, whoever the seller is, will agree to compensate buyer's broker either a flat fee or a percentage of the price. So it's going to be in the form of those addendums. Now, it's not just going to be right in the MLS, and this gives the seller the option. He's always had the option. Just didn't know he had the option. So, all right, folks, 7:58. I think we're at the bottom of the chats. So we're going to bail tonight. I want to thank each and every one of you, Jane, John Keller, Rick, thank you for the questions, by the way. I really appreciate it. Jax, thank you for joining us tonight there in New Jersey. And Corky, great time tonight. Jason, looking forward to seeing you. Saying hi to Karen and Lexi and Cody. So thank you all for hanging in there with me. Racer Girl, appreciate it. Ron and Karen, I'm gonna be with you here just shortly, and we'll see what we got going on here. Okay, so Wrestler's gone. I know Ghost Rider, he hadn't written anything in a while. He probably bailed on me. Bruce D, I didn't see Bruce. And Ricky P, how did I miss all of that? Whoa, I missed a lot of stuff. Always was told a transaction broker was a pimp. I guess it is a little different. It's been 35, 37 pending, 7 days. Gosh. Oh man, looks like I missed a lot of you guys, but I think you're all gone now. Coming down for 2 weeks in October, doing a visit on top of the world. Bruce D. All right, you guys, see ya next week. Be there or be square. Monday Night Live is out. Love y'all. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. It was a pleasure spending some time with you, answering your questions. And if you have any other questions for me, Ira at imrealty.org or 352-204-9026. You can text or call on that number. All right? Take care, y'all. Have a wonderful evening, and the